Yes, so this is JJ. I am pleased to be in the house once again with the Baltimore Barsmith East Ridge. How you doing, man?
What's up, JJ? Salute, brother. How you doing, brother?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Thanks for giving me your time once again. Let me start off by asking, how was your 2023?
It was good, man. It was very productive, man. I can honestly say it was probably the most productive year that I've had, man.
Hmm.
As far as music goes, man. Definitely was able to get a lot of things done.
Hmm.
And just try new things, man. Travel to new places. It was a great year, man. It had, its triumphs, but what year it doesn't, you know? So
Yeah, man. Cool,
yeah, it
cool.
was a good year, bro.
Yeah, like you said, you released so much last year. Um, has this been your most prolific year, 2 years maybe, or have you always sort of had this kind of output?
Well, I definitely used to drop a lot of material back in the day, but things were so different back then. We were still pushing CDs and still doing things with the hard copies. There wasn't any streaming and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
on the local tip, I was always putting out like multiple mixtapes a year, singles here and there, stuff like that. But like as far as online presence, easily by far the most prolific year. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yup.
cool, cool. Yeah, so I remember in our last interview, you said you took a few years hiatus. Looking back, do you feel that that break helped to focus you and make you this prolific, or do you think it hindered your creativity in any way?
I think it definitely it helped because it allowed me to just kind of like focus on just life in general and go through different experiences, good and bad, and that just helped me make better music. Fast forward into now, because a lot of my music, as you know, reflects the things that I've been through. So I think sometimes just in life as an artist, no matter what it is you do, you just have to have periods of reflection.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I definitely think the hiatus was needed. I don't think I would do it again just because like times are different now. Like you can lose people's attention way quicker than you got it if you don't stay consistent. So
Okay,
yeah.
cool, cool, cool.
Hmm.
So you've had, like you say, it's been a prolific year. You've had quite a few collaborators. How does that work? Do you approach them? Do they approach you, or is it a bit of both?
So as far as the collaborators last year, most of them approached me. It would be a thing of like a lot of people reached out to me through the ads, and they would send their music and I hate to put it like this. I'm not collabing with just anybody and everybody, but I will listen to any and everybody's music and
Hmm.
determine if it makes sense. If things make sense. Like when I would get hit up about collabs, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to your profile. I don't care how many followers you got. I don't care about your numbers. I just want to see that you're active. I want to see that you're working towards something.
Hmm.
And once I determine that, I want to hear the music, and then that just kind of led me to who I ended up collaborating with. A lot of the guys work through the internet, but I did do a show in Toronto, Canada last year. So a couple of the guys I collaborated with, I actually met in person first.
Hmm.
So it was like just a little bit of both.
Yeah. All right, man. Okay.
Hmm.
And do you prefer having set people to work with, or are you just like say casting your net far and wide, and if you're dope, I'll do something.
That's a good question, man. I think it's just one of those things if it makes sense.
Hmm.
Like I collaborated with people one time and it kind of just felt like, okay, we made our song. It turned out okay, but I just don't know if it's any need for us to go any further.
Hmm.
There's people that I probably never stop collaborating with, just because we have that chemistry, and that is a big part of it. Making good music is one thing, but chemistry is just a whole nother thing. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So a lot of it just lies on stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, you can't always tell, but I think sometimes when you hear a track and you hear two or more artists on it, I think you can tell sometimes that they've got a connection, that there's chemistry there. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you can tell that, you know, they just sent the song and then got it back and put the single out and they don't really care about. I think you can tell when there's a connection between the artists on the track, you know what I mean? And I know what you're saying about, you know, obviously, like I've said to you before, like you know, not to blow my own horn like I'm better than anyone else, but I don't just interview anybody. I don't, you know, ask everybody for an interview. I only ask people for interview that I'm interested in their music and what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Which is why I reached out to you in the first place. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're taking that step. Do you know what I mean? You're working towards something, and you know what I mean. The beats are dope, the rhymes are dope, and that's why I reached out to you in the first place. So I definitely understand you on that one, man. So talking about working towards what you're working towards, there was a big change last year in that you left the, you know, safety net. It's maybe not the right way to put it, but you left the safety net of a 9 to 5. What drove that? How long were you thinking about it? And when you took the plunge, like how much, you know, hesitance was there in that decision?
Okay, so I actually, you know, I posted, a brief summary of that situation, but that was actually involuntary, man. So the company I work for, I was there for 7 years. I was a forklift driver. You know, I had stripes with the company. You know, they sent me all around the United States to work. I had a good rapport with the company, but what happened was the company is closing down.
Oh, okay.
And they had to make cuts. I was one of the higher paid. I was one of the first let go. So that was an involuntary situation. It was out of my control, but it does tie into something that you said. I was thinking about it long before that. Bro, there was days I would be at work on that forklift and I'd just be thinking, man, you know what I could do with this time if I had it to work on music. And I would just be in there every day thinking that, and then that situation happened. So I go to work one day and just a normal day, you know, not thinking nothing of it. I'm about to go take a lunch break. I think I'm about to go make some hot tea in the break room. Boss calls me in, office. They let me go, no notice whatsoever.
Wow.
However, with the terms of it, I was given a severance. You know, so I was able to, you know, pay my bills for however long I, you know, been able to off the severance, and just looked at it like, man, like this is literally what I asked for. You know, more time to put into music and still have a way to maintain and stuff like that. But you know, this process takes time as far as, you know, generating income off of music, a consistent income. So, unfortunately, man, it's funny we talking about this. I have an interview tomorrow. I actually got to jump back into the workforce tomorrow.
Okay. That's a shame, man.
I definitely utilized the time that I had, and I plan to, you know, taking what I learned in this time off and applying it in the time that I have, but the bills got to get paid. It's just one of them real life situations.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that, man. I was hoping to get some tips, man, because I got my 9 to 5. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, what I'm doing with this is what, you know, if I had a choice, this is what I'd be doing full time. But you know, like you say, bills got to get paid. I got young children, all of that kind of stuff. So what's got to be done's got to be done. But you also,
I could probably give you some advice though. I could probably offer this advice though, just what I've learned in my time. Like, it's just the time that you do have, utilize it the best that you can. Like, pre-record as much content as you can. Do as much planning as you can in the time that you do have, because it's not always how much time you have, it's what you do with the time you have. So you can be just as productive with a 9 to 5 as somebody who's got all day, but they not utilizing and applying, you know what I mean, time the right way, you know what I mean? So it's just about how you do.
That kind of reminds me, actually. That kind of reminds me of something Denzel Washington said. He said, it's not always about how hard you're working, it's about where you're applying that work. Because, you know, I mean, obviously you can run in place you're not getting anywhere, but you're working hard. You know what I mean? So it's about how you use that time and you move forward with that time. So I definitely get what you're saying, man. And part of that, you have a podcast now. Tell us about the podcast, man.
Not the average local rapper podcast. I believe I'm about to be on episode 13. This is actually 2 years in the making. I got the logo done about 2 years ago. I had the concept for about 2.5, 3 years, but it was one of them things where I just felt like it wasn't the right time when I initially came up with the idea. I felt like I needed to do more as an artist. I felt like I needed to also have more of a direct concept for my podcast. I felt like it was too broad. I'm like, all right, I'm calling it this, but I need to have an actual speaking point. You know, I need to have an actual direction that I'm going in. So I wanted to make it informative. I wanted to make it something that I could just pass the jewels along, and also engage in dialogue where I could possibly learn things from people that tune into the podcast. So I just wanted to all around make it informative because, like your podcast is informative, we don't have a lot of those now, man. A lot of this stuff is gossipy. It's about drama. It's about tearing down the next man, the next artist, and we need to do things to build each other up, man. So I just wanted to make something positive, something that was not so much entertaining, but informative.
Yeah.
And that's the direction
I must admit, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I don't listen to any of those kind of podcasts, man. None of them. I think I've listened to, not to mention any names, but I think I listened to one Joe Budden. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really into that, like you say, that gossipy or putting people down or, do you know what I mean? It's like, everybody's doing their work, and if they're making their change off it, they're obviously, they obviously know what they're doing. You can't really fault them if they're moving forward and they're making that cash of what they're doing, man. You know what I mean? Like you just said, that's what we're both aiming for. So you know what I mean? I can't put them people down because they're doing better than I am. You know what I mean? In their arenas. But yeah,
it's about
yeah. So like you say, like I said, the podcast is there. Is it aimed at anyone in particular, or is it for sort of, is it structured on the music business itself, or is it, life lessons that anyone can apply to anything?
I think it's a little bit of both, man. I think depending on the direction that I'm going in, because I try to find like an actual concept, and then I kind of just wing it after that. Like I'll outline, what I want to talk about, but then I basically just speak from experience. You know what I mean? I speak from also things I wonder about. I wonder why things are the way they are. I try to keep my biased opinion out of it as much as possible, but let's be real, man. We all gonna throw our opinions in on shit. That's just the way it goes. But but I think anybody can pull from it. I think it is like some life lessons in there. I think it's some. You might not be a rapper, but you might deal with a rapper. You know what I mean? That might be something that you may be curious about. That rappers have to deal with. Like you interview rappers, you interview musicians, so there might be something in there for you. Like, oh man, I ain't even realized this was a thing. Let me throw this in my next interview. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. And. I've seen bits that you're trying to get involved in the merch game as well. Did someone put you onto that, or was that always a part of the plan?
That was kind of a part of the plan as well, but I just kind of feel like I don't want to do too many things at one time, so I always plan things the way I want to have them, but then I just feel like you just roll them out, as you feel the time is right. As far as the merch, like back in my days of ripping and running and hanging in the streets and stuff, when the black and the white tees used to be real popular and stuff, I used to sell those. I used to cop them wholesale, and I used to sell T-shirts on the street. I used to customize my own T-shirts and wear them to shows and stuff. So I always been hip to doing merch for myself and just kind of selling clothes. So I kind of put it all together into one thing. It was like, once again, when the time is right, when I feel like I have the right ideas and I built a somewhat solid support system, you know what I mean, this might be the right time to do it. So it just felt like the right time.
So, is there any other any kind of avenues you're pursuing, or like you said, you know, you don't want to put too many have your fingers in too many pies at once?
For the moment, I think I'm just, focused on all the things that you've mentioned so far, the podcast, the merch, more music. I got some more projects already ready to go this year. If there's anything that I'd like to jump back into, I should say, it will be acting, because I used to be into acting once upon a time. Before I ever got into music, I used to be in a drama club and stuff like that. So maybe something amongst those lines, but that would probably be further down the line. But I think it all kind of coincides and go hand to hand with the times that we in now, with the entertainment industry and everything being so close knit. It's like you kind of want to have as many talents and things that you can bring to the table as possible.
Yeah, man, I know what you're saying.
But other than just rocking the way I'm rocking, man, and I just like to take it a day at a time, bro, and whatever I feel needs to be done, and when it needs to be done, man. I'm just kind of out here, it don't come with a handbook, man. We just doing what we can.
Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. So so getting back into the music, like you say, you got stuff in the pipeline to drop this year. What's next, music wise? What are we waiting for next, and what kind of time period are we talking about?
So I have a single coming out. I'm working with a young producer over in he's in the UK actually. Shout out to Big Alf. I've been working with him. We got a project coming out real soon. We're dropping a single probably within the next week or so. It's called Maturity. It's a dope song. I can honestly say I think it's probably going to be one of the best songs I dropped this year. I can say that already.
Okay.
Real deep song, man. Man, other than that, I got some EPs in the tank. You interviewed P Shells last year. I've been working with him a lot. We got some things we've been working on.
Yeah, I've seen a couple things. Yeah.
Yeah, bought another Baltimore brother. And I just be making a lot of music, bro. And when I feel like I got something that can be made into a project, I put it together. And I just go from there. But the music's going to be coming out consistently. I can tell you that, though. I plan on dropping stuff every few weeks. And I drop stuff on my YouTube channel all the time. I drop freestyle type tracks and stuff. I usually do that about every other day.
Yeah.
More so for the sport, though. It ain't nothing that's going to be on all platforms, but I feel like if you are a YouTube subscriber, there's an extra incentive for you.
Yeah.
Go out there and check out some shit that you're not going to hear on the other platforms.
Yeah. One of my favorite tracks from you from last year was that 410 to Baltimore that you did. I like that one a lot, man. That freestyle you dropped. I like that. Yeah.
That's hard. That was that Drake.
Yeah. So the introvert video dropped yesterday. What was the concept for that, and how long did it take to put together, and was there any difficulty in getting it done?
I literally shot it yesterday morning and dropped it last night. That's how quick I did it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just give you a brief rundown, man. I never had any intention of doing my own visuals. I know people that do videos and stuff like that. That kind of stuff does, of course, cost money. You know what I mean? And we just spoke on the predicament that I'm in. So I'm kind of in a delete the middleman situation as much as possible right now. I've been getting a lot of requests for visuals for introverts. So I was scrolling down IG the night before. I seen a young brother promote with an ad, and he basically said he built his buzz with just himself, his phone, his tripod, and his home studio. And then he just put up examples of what he did. I don't know who that young brother was, but shout out to him because he sparked something in me that said, I need to go on Amazon. I need to order a tripod. and boom, that's what I did, man. I already had a little video editing software, or better yet, on my phone. And I just went to work, bro. The concept is basically everything I talk about in the song. And I just kind of acted it out, man. And I did the editing. As far as how difficult it was a challenge because it was my first time doing anything like that. But I'm always up for a challenge, though. So I've been getting a lot of good feedback about it. I think you'll enjoy it. I think anybody that watches it will enjoy it because it's just organic, it's real, and it's from the heart, man. And it's just not a video that somebody put together to look good. I want people to feel it when they see it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think if you know, if you want to get better at anything, obviously you gotta just go do it. Do you know what I mean? And then go do it again and go do it again, and you know, you get better that way. So I definitely see what you're saying with that, man. But yeah, just before we go, just let people know where they can find you, and what your links are on social media and that.
Yes, sir. East Shore Ridge on all streaming platforms. That's ESHORE_RIG. Sorry about the volume, my bad, brother. Yeah, and then on IG, I'm East Shore Ridge 410, spelled the same way. I'm on all platforms. Even my email, eShoreRidge@gmail.com. ESHORERIG.
Yeah, man.
I'm at, bro. I'm out here.
Okay, man. Well, again, thank you very much for your time, sir. And yeah, I'll speak to you real soon, man.
I appreciate you, brother, man. It's always good to talk to you, man. And shout out to you and what you're doing, man. I be tapped in. I be watching. You were you're not even a student of the game. You're a professor of the game, bro. Like, you really.
I'm trying to be, man.
Shit,
I'm trying to be. You know,
Bro, you take me back, man. I be seeing some of the stuff you post, and I'm like, oh no, he didn't, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
This hip-hop thing going.
I've been loving it since the late '80s, man, and I ain't never gonna stop loving it. So I might as well do something with it while I got the capacity to do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it goes,
and
man.
Like we talked about, you and I need to put something together, man. We spoke on it one time, and we need to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, obviously we're both busy people, and we never came to fruition on that. But no, we've got to make sure we connect, man. Maybe I come on your podcast. Maybe we make a new podcast together. You know, reviewing music, or I don't know. We'll think of something, man. We'll think of something. But yeah,
make a time, brother.
Thank you for your time, man.
Absolutely, man.
All right, man. Cool.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Thank you.